Wow, it's been a long journey. I think it started. I went straight out of university way back in 1964, 65. Got the boat to England and started work in Denmark Street, which is the Tin Pan Alley, the centre of the music industry in London. I made a record as a promotional thing for a rag week. You know, every college has got a rag week, and I wrote a song, made a record with my little band, and subsequently that song was picked up by one of the big bands in the country at the time called the Capital Show Band. A song called Fool in Time. They recorded it. It was a hit in Ireland, and then they invited me to go to London to work with them on some more recordings, and I made contact with a man called Phil Solomon, who was their London agent, etc. So he offered me my first job. I was in London, I was in the music business, and then it was up to me. The ball was at my feet, and I had to run with it. And from then, I started off as a musical office boy, really, doing all kinds of odd jobs, and gradually then began to get a bit more responsibility as doing orchestrations. Going on the road as piano player and musical director, etc. And then after going on for 2-3 years of that kind of stuff, I teamed up with a man called Bill Martin, and we became songwriting partnership. And we decided that we'd give ourselves 1 year to see if we could write songs and get them recorded. Well, at the end of the first year, although we hadn't set the world on fire, we hadn't sold 1 million records, we'd had enough songs recorded by different artists to make us believe maybe we should give it another year, because we're nearly there. And about a week into our second year, we wrote a song called Puppet on a String, which went on to win the Eurovision Song Contest for the first time ever for the United Kingdom. It sold 6 million records, was recorded by 130 different artists around the world, and that was it. We were now in business. Well, looking back on a career of 45 years as you know, as a musician, as a songwriter, as a composer, as a piano player, orchestra leader, whatever. Particularly looking back on the songs, and I've been luckier than most. I've had more than my fair share of hits. I've had songs that won the Eurovision Song Contest, as I mentioned, songs that were recorded by Elvis Presley, songs that were #1 around the world, songs songs that are still alive today. But if you were to press me and say, what's the one song, if I would choose to be remembered by one song, what would that one song be? That would have to be The Town I Loved So Well. It's never been easy to get a start in the music industry. It wasn't easy 40-something years ago, and it's not easy today. The difference is today you can get access, through the web. You can get your songs out there. You can make your demos. You can do little film things and get them on YouTube. There are many stories of acts breaking through because they're on YouTube. In simple terms, the one thing you have to have is belief. Without a shadow of a doubt. And secondly, you have to have a desire to be in the music business, to be in the entertainment business, more than anything else in the world. I mean, you have to be very single-minded to the extent that you have to make sacrifices, and they may be sacrifices in relationships, they may be sacrifices in terms of being around your family. You may have to travel to follow that particular dream. But if this is what you want, you have to be single-minded about it. And if this is what you want, the only person who can make it happen is you. And you do that by just clinging on to your dream and just working at it. And don't be dissuaded, don't be disheartened when things don't go well, In order to survive in the record industry, you have to have a pretty thick skin. And, you have to ride out the punches. Everyone who's been in the business for as long as I have can look back on highs and lows, peaks and valleys, and of course we trumpet our successes from the rooftops, but then we kind of draw a veil over our failures, and everybody's had flops, everybody's had failures, and I've had more than my fair share. But luckily I've had maybe more successes than failures to have been able to keep my head above water. But there's no simple way. You just have to work, and you just have to give it your best shot. The combination of talent, hard work, and focus They would be the three essentials. And don't be hanging around waiting for a lucky break. You have to make your own luck.